Yes.
And can you tell me where you got the language from?
I think I received the language from a communique that was sent to me by the Louisiana Family Forum. It says Type 2 Charter School Contract. Charter schools may not discriminate on the basis of race, color, national origin, creed, sex, ethnicity, sexual orientation, mental or physical disability, age, ancestry, athletic performance, special need, proficiency in the English language or in a foreign language or academic achievement.
And do you think, and I don't want to, of course I'm going to ask, well, do you think something is improper with that language being in a contract to say that charter schools cannot discriminate for those stated reasons?
Well, Senator Murray, that depends upon which principle of propriety you're asking about. If you're asking me a straight up question of policy,
yeah. Do you think
if I were king and could impose restrictions as I wanted, I probably would not have an objection with, certainly not with most of these. But I do have an objection insofar as the Department of Education making this kind of determination to expand protected classes when the legislation that is related to it doesn't authorize it.
Okay, let me ask my question again. That wasn't clear. So you think the Department of Education, there's something wrong with the Department of Education requiring saying you can't discriminate against the persons who have the characteristics that you described in the contract?
I would say that it's arguably unconstitutional, yes.
Okay. You don't think those things should be in the contract? I don't want to get, you're not a judge, I don't think. I mean, it's not done so, and we're not either, so you just disagree that the department should not require those in the contract?
That would be a fair thing to say, yes.
Okay, all right, thank you. Now, can you tell me which things you disagree with? Which characteristics do you think the department should not include in the contract?
I don't think it should include anything in the contract other than the categories that are mentioned in current legislation. So I would disagree with sexual orientation, athletic performance, special need, proficiency in the English language or in a foreign language or academic achievement.
And so you think charter schools should be able to discriminate based on sexual orientation?
Well,
that's
again, it's a more complicated question.
No, but you can say yes or no, and then you can tell me, explain it. But so
okay.
You think they should be able to discriminate based on sexual orientation?
I think they should, yes.
Okay, now you can tell me why, if you like.
The reason is that the legislature itself has not seen fit to prohibit discrimination on the basis of sexual orientation in the awarding of public contracts.
And so you also think that charter schools should be able to discriminate based on ability to speak the English language?
Yes, they should, and that should continue to be the case until the legislature decides otherwise.
And you think that charter schools should be able to discriminate based on athletic proficiency?
Yes, for the same reason.
Okay, so that, and I just want to make sure I get this right. So if this bill passes, well, did you help to write this bill?
No, I did not.
You did not. You know where it came from?
I'm not sure exactly who wrote all of it. Mr. Chairman, do you?
Yeah, we have staff write the bill.
Okay.
Yeah, let's want to see what he knows, that's all.
The only person I've heard mentioned as a participant in the drafting was Carla Roberts.
Okay. All right. So let me get your appreciation. So if this bill passed, you would think that a charter school could be able to discriminate against people based on sexual orientation, and not allow them to attend school.
Correct.
You would think that a charter school would be able to discriminate against people who did not speak the English language, didn't have a certain proficiency in the English language, and they could discriminate against people like that.
Correct.
Same thing about athletic proficiency. They could be able to discriminate if they didn't. You're serious? You think that's what ought to happen in this state?
That's a different question from the one that you asked me before, sir.
Yeah, no, I asked the second one. I want to make sure that you're serious and you're not saying that for the purpose of being. You really are serious.
I am serious.
That's all the questions I have, Mr. Chairman.
Or just to state,
It's an excellent question, and the answer is it would apply to local government as well as the state government. And that's because of the way that the public bid laws are now set up. They cover not only the state government and its executive agencies, but also local governments and theirs.
Thank you.
So do you think let me make sure I got this right then. So you think the executive branch of state government discriminates currently in favor of sexual orientation?
Discriminates
In favor of?
you mean protects?
Well, protects, okay, let's use your word. Do you
Okay.
think the executive branch of state government protects sexual orientation?
There are some departments that have been doing so through the guise of writing sexual orientation into the anti-discrimination clauses that are required in public contracts, yes.
I mean, yes, some executive branch agencies, and this
Yes,
is...
yes, but it's not all of them.
Not,
Some of
that's it. Yes, some
Yes.
executive branch agencies in this administration protect sexual orientation.
That's correct.
And you also believe, I suppose, that there are local executive branch agencies that protect certain classes of people that you don't think the law permits.
I suspect that there are. I don't know of any in fact. I mean, in my materials, I don't have copies of any local governmental executive orders that purport to deal with public contracting and include sexual orientation, but I imagine that there are some somewhere.
But do you think that the bill would apply to local executive branch agencies?
I can't see how it would not, given again the way that public agency is defined in the public bid law.